Hello everybody. It's my new fresh, what do you call it, business card. Well, it's here, and happy Orange Shirt Day. And I'm taking the rest of the day off work because I'm getting prepared for the Gordon Head Residents Association All Candidates meeting tonight. And I'm really excited because I'm really nervous. This is sort of the moment that those of us who've never done this before have been waiting for. This is a big deal. And I guess I'm really excited because I know Gordon Head Residents Association is a like a big membership, the well-organized one. And it's filled with people who really care about local government. And that's great because local government really matters. That's why I'm getting involved. That's why the other candidates are getting involved. They recognize, at least I hope this is why they're getting involved, this is where the action is. This is where houses get built. This is where infrastructure deficits accrue. This is where businesses operate, and this is where the impacts of climate change will come home to roost. In local government. It's where the action is. And the provincial government, federal government, they're important. They got to pony up the dough and provide the social services, and they've got to create the legislative framework, and they should improve a lot of it so we can do better work at the city level. But I mean, it's where we live. And Saanich is a pretty amazing place to live. And I think most of you agree with me, and that's why you probably also chose to raise your family there. And it's worth protecting, and it's worth preserving, and it's worth taking better care of so we leave it in better shape than we found it in, for our sake, but for our sake of our kids and our grandkids. And that includes, being good stewards, also includes making sure that it's accessible and affordable to the generation that comes after us. I really believe that that's important, and that we can do it. We can achieve these goals, but we can't rely on the solutions of yesterday, right? We have to look to the future. We have to embrace modern technology and data and research and big, bold ideas from fresh perspectives. I'm not the only one, although I think I bring a very fresh perspective, being a millennial with children and a volunteer, an athlete, a musician, all that good stuff. I also think that some old perspectives are important too, and I imagine we'll have some of those. But generally, I would say, and I will tell you this in my platform over and over again, I believe in term limits on councillors. I think 2 terms in a row is good enough. Take a break and come back again after that. And I have some policies that if that's not possible, we can do some persuading, some financial incentives. I'm all about the economics after all. But I also believe not just term limits on council to keep things fresh, but that there should be a seat dedicated and accountable to local business community. The small business community and all the revenues that it provides needs to be more considered through an accountability chain in our local governance model. And so you hear me talking about that too. And that revenue that local government receives from small business is significant. And that revenue, along with our tax dollars that us taxpayers pay, it should be really easy to look that up online. It shouldn't be in the back of a PDF file that doesn't have a search feature. It should be something that is open, available, machine and readable, transparent. I'm getting to my point here. Open data. If we want to be able to track and trace each dollar, how it's spent, what for and why, and how it went after it was spent, we need an open data platform. Other medium and large cities around the world have done this already. We need to catch up so that our citizens and our concerned citizens, academics, researchers, journalists can hold government, not just accountable local government, but just provide insight so things are more efficient. So that's important. People are also important. I believe in taking care of people and treating them with equity, which is, an example of that is 10,000 liters of water per year per resident should be free. After that, you should pay a marginal cost, right? You should pay for higher consumption. But if you can conserve, then you shouldn't have to pay for what is a basic amount of something. And many of us my household would consume more than 40,000 liters, and we'd pay for that. We'd pay for that additional 40,000 and first liter forward. And if housing is a human right, why do we charge a flat tax on it, right? Like, shouldn't the mill rate be progressive? Shouldn't it be variable with zoning and with performance outcomes of the building stock? I think so. It's not that difficult to change the legislation at the provincial level to make that happen, and it would be up to the local governments themselves to decide how. So it's not like people are interfering with local decision making. We'd be enhancing local decision making. And regardless, the first $100,000 in assessed value of a primary residence for those primary residents, plural, each, I think, or harmonically growing, $100,000 for one person in a house, $150,000 for two people in a house, $175,000 for three people in a house, and so forth. That should be tax-free. This is demand-side management. This is smart economics for good public policy building. We can find efficiencies within the framework itself by rejigging the framework. So come listen to us tonight, all 18 of us council candidates and the 4, maybe only 3 show up, mayoral candidates, in Saanich at Gordon Head, what used to be called the Gordon Head United Church. I forget what the venue is called at the moment. And on October 20th, vote Trevor Barry for Saanich Council for an economically efficient set of ideas for a sustainable future. Hey, thanks everybody. That was fun. And how do I end this thing? I never know how to end it. Trevor Barry is live. Press stop.